That video, we start that with a lot of things we do, and when you think about diversity in one of our locations, one of our major challenges, we are in 84 different locations with up to 1,000 people per location. So when you think of a corporate campus and how you have to execute your values, it's a big challenge for us.
It is, but you guys do a great job of it. So I thought we'd start, if you don't mind. So Jack and I, this is exactly our second time, I think, meeting face to face. It's our second time on a panel together. Hopefully it goes as well. And wouldn't mind, you want to tell the folks kind of what the setup was, what happened?
Well, I think at that time we were I think in 2006 we were number 1 on the top 100 places to work, and Google was 2. The next year we flipped. Google went to 1, and we've never beaten them out since, but we'll get at that a little later. So we were invited to speak, and I was pretty nervous about going to speak behind Google. Laszlo was going to go first, and here was the best company in America, highest tech, and we're not. We're simple grocers. And so I was pretty nervous, and talking to my wife, she said, "What are you nervous about?" I said, "Well, I'm going to present to behind Google. This guy's going to blow me away." And she goes, "Jack, just wear something people will remember you by." Well, that's where this jacket came from. And that's how it started. And I do want to thank you, young man. I've never pushed my pause button in 47 years of work. I'm doing it.
Thank you to Dwayne. So this is our homage to Jack and his jacket. The thing that struck me, and I've been telling people this ever since we met, was the folks organizing the conference kind of put us on stage because they figured these guys are going to have nothing in common, right? You know, high margins, fast-growing technology business, tighter margins, family-owned firm, publicly traded firm, and it kind of, we had a little bit in common.
Quite a bit. I think you heard it all. I think the theme today, and number one, I want to thank all the presenters. They did an awesome job. What always excites me is someone's passion, right? And man, there was passion in this room, so congratulations to all of you. But I think that we are a low-margin business. The food industry is much lower than the high-tech world. But it doesn't mean that you can't treat your people the same way. And I think the values, what you heard a lot of people talk about today, what we manage by are our values. We're a value-based company. Our owners, we're in this 4th generation of the same family. We train, we hire, we recruit, all on our values. We don't do it anymore on how good you can turn a wrench. We can teach you how to manage, but we can't teach you to have our values. We actually recruit you for that. And I do want to make a comment because we do have about 85% of our employees do take advantage of our 401k, and we are a very low-based salary. I don't know where those other comments came from this morning, but I like
those other
my
comments.
Friend over there. I had to throw it in for the food business. So we're very proud of what we do. We're very proud of our people. Our people are our culture. You heard that all day long. We are a company run, and I mean no offense to people who have high degrees, but we're a company that's run by 16 and 15-year-old cashiers. Many of these people manage our best asset, which is our customer. Most times it's their first job. So what we tried many years ago was to simple down our philosophies, right? Everybody has philosophies, everybody has mission statements. And in talking to 15 and 16-year-old kids, and for those of you who have children, you all know they're not interested in anybody's philosophy. Mainly it's what am I doing tonight and how am I getting out of homework. So we changed everything to what we call our 4 W's. It's what we do, what we believe, what we measure, and who we are. In those things, those 4 things, most of our employees, I would say all our full-time employees could recite, and most of our part-time can too. We spend about $24 million a year in training. That's unheard of in the industry, our industry.
And is that for your business? Is that a lot? Is that a little? I mean,
for our business, it's a lot. For the industry, it's really a lot. The food industry does not put a lot of money into training. We train before we open a new location. We invest about $2 million into those people so that they can give incredible service to our customers.
But I mean, I know you started literally at the bottom. You started at the front line. You worked your way up. Yes. You've been there
47 years.
I
apologize, anybody's not 47 years old.
I mean, so you've seen this company grow and change. What made them at the beginning, the Wegmans, and what made you in the role you're in? I mean, do you make some, Laura Tyson this morning kind of gave the impression that, well, it's a bit of a luxury to do this stuff. And, I inferred from her comments, that you can't leave corporations by themselves to do this, because they won't all do the right thing and what have you. It would have been easy to just say, we're going to pay minimum wage, we're going to just cycle through people. What made the Wegmans, what make you run this company differently? Like, why would you do that?
Well, one is, Bob Wegman, our founder, bought the company in 1950, and this is another interesting story. When Bob took the company over in 1950, he bought it off his uncle. He immediately raised salaries. He took, and if you remember, those of you that wouldn't know upstate New York, at one time upstate New York was a very heavy manufacturing area. Xerox was there, Kodak was there. Kodak employed 60,000 people in Rochester. They're now gone. General Motors had most of their electronic and motor building there. So it was a very heavy industrial area. People were paid pretty good money. Bob kept losing people, good people. They would want to go for a better living. So Bob raised his salaries. He basically raised all our salaries so that he could hold on to good quality people. He understood that retention and development would drive his business, because if he took care of his people, trained his people, they would indeed take care of his customer. Now Danny, his son, in 2007, when the economy crashed and everybody was struggling, everybody's sales went down, Danny made a very public statement that was picked up across the AP and broadcast everywhere, that we are not going to lay people off. We are going to take a shorter profit. We can make less money to keep our people working. So we're not going to let the knowledge that we've acquired and trained and developed go because the economy's a little tight. We'll just make less money and be very happy at that. And that's what we did. We believe that knowledgeable people make the difference in our business. We're not concerned if competition's here, but if our people are here because they're knowledgeable, they provide a better service to you, we'll win. And that's Bob's merchant philosophy. We'll bring something different to a customer that no one else has, which allows us then to make fair sales and once in a while a little fair profit too.
But you make it sound like such an obvious, easy decision.
What?
I mean, was it?
Well, nothing's obvious or easy. I think that very little is left to chance. And I think the biggest turnaround for us was probably in the 90s, we decided to write down what we believed. We didn't have, we all kind of felt good. You saw Bob all the time, you understood his values. But as we grew, we ran into a major problem. We were now spread across 6 states. We had a lot of new people. We had doubled and tripled our workforce, which we'll do again in the very near future. We'll double it one more time. So it was very difficult for us to try to spread the values. So we sat down and actually wrote them all down, wrote down our 5 values. We wrote down on what we do, what we believe, who we are. And then the most important was we gave people 5 measures, because you got to be able to have meaningful work. You got to know that you're here for sales. You have to make contribution, correct? If we can't make any money, we can't pay you. Retention, I think we talked about that a little earlier. Development, we're going to have knowledgeable people. We're going to hold on to them because it's very expensive to lose them. That brings in your pay and benefits and all those other things. And diversity. Because we're in so many different areas, I can't possibly know what somebody needs, what a customer needs in Virginia. I live in upstate New York. It snows most of the time up there. So we became a company of two-way communication. We needed to hear from our employees. We empowered them to tell us how to run our business. And there's many cool stories around that. I'll bring up an interesting one around, and I have a present for Laszlo here because I know he's a cook, and I never want him to cut himself while he's working. But
nice.
We started a program about, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago to try to make our people the safest they could be at work. And if you think of our food stores, there's a lot of activity in there, a lot of motion, it's tight. We're high volume stores for none of you that ever seen us. We have stores that can do over 3 million a week. So there's a lot of activity going on in there. So our safety people, we decided to really go after to lower our, one, it would help us because it would lower our cost, our healthcare costs, and our workman's comp and all those good things. But two, we wanted people to go home as happy as they came in. A little bit of that. Where's Adam? I didn't mean to bring up the happy after you did, but you did a great job, and I thought that video would help you. So we decided to do this program where we would send out these gloves for everybody to wear who worked in areas where there were slicers and all those kind of things. Well, it was a corporate issue, and it kind of came down, and people had these gloves on, and as I went around to visit the stores to see how they were doing, they weren't happy at all. Man, the deli people just about beat me up at one store. We didn't do a really good job with these things. We didn't make sure they fit well. We didn't understand that the people who sent them out, that these ships, they would wear these things for 4 and 5 hours. Your hand, they were too tight. So we wound up surveying all our employees. We wound up listening to them. Tell us how to make this better. We know the glove makes you safer, but tell us how to do it better than we did the first time. And we wound up coming up with a glove that we actually designed. We had a manufacturer build that for us. It fit all the things they asked for, sent it out, and that's the glove now that they use. So I think listening is very important for us. We're a company that loves to hear from our people. I think you saw the thing about an Ask Jack. That's gone on for about 15 years, where any employee can send a note asking any question they want, and we'll respond within a certain time. But I think listening, writing down our values, having a clear vision, right? Somebody talked about autonomy this morning, and what I learned is autonomy without vision is chaos. Right? It's like empowerment. Everybody wants to do a good job. Everybody gets up every day wanting to work hard and do a good job, but it's our job to make sure they're doing that around our vision. I don't want store managers going out and selling used cars in the parking lot, because that's not what we do. I want them to stay focused to our vision. So we empower our people to be extremely creative around our vision, and that is to give incredible service and help customers with meal solutions every day.
That's amazing. Amazing. Any questions? Any quick hands up? We've got a few minutes, and I can keep going.
We have 45,000 employees.
One question up front.
I guess my question is the question I raised. Do you feel like this is a market-leading strategy, or is it just the Wegmans are generous people and it's not?
No, it's a market. Well, certainly the Wegman family is very generous, but that's not how they run a business, right? I mean, the business is run to be the best. We never wanted, Bob Wegman's philosophy was never to be the biggest, but to be the best and reward your people. Your people are your number one asset. Right? They will take care of your customer if you invest in them. We've invested over $95 million in scholarships to our employees since we started our scholarship program. The thing you saw up there was for 1 year only, $5 million. So we are very paternal. We have 10,000 people that work for us under the age of 18. We have 11,000 family members that work for us. So we know how important these people are. We want to educate these children. We love having them stay with us. We then are able to promote them to move into new markets. Our management intern program, I think, is one of the best in the country in the food industry. We have about 85 kids a year we put through this thing. We start them when they're juniors in college. They have our vision. They know our values. When they do their presentations, it's tied to our values. When they go full-time, we relocate them into the new markets so they can help spread our vision among 600 new employees. Even the Dale Carnegie we use to help our entry-level people is changed to our values. We operated that with the Dale Carnegie people to put it together around our values. So I think, and I think you joked a little bit about we're a private company, so certainly our employees are our best asset. And I always remember what Bob Wegman said, you know, he used to tell me, Jack, I've got to go home and sleep at night. I want our employees to be able to go home and sleep at night. I want them to have a good living. And that's always been our philosophy.
That's pretty good. Is there, maybe one last question, how do you know if you've gone too far? I mean, we heard the story about this alleged Google employee who was complaining that the free sushi line was too long.
Yeah. Give somebody something free, they'll complain.
And I will never do it again.
Yeah.
But how do you know how much freedom do you give your people? How much input do you really want from them?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting challenge. I think we like all the input they want to give us as long as it's focused to the vision. They understand our business need. They understand that good people working towards a common goal can accomplish anything they set out to do. That is what we believe. So we don't mind them having freedom to operate within those guidelines. So we found many years ago that, and it's not a joke, that autonomy without vision is chaos. You can't let people just run. One, it's not meaningful work. We're true believers of gung-ho. You know, we believe in meaningful work, setting goals, and celebration. Because it should be fun at the end of the day, right? You don't want to work all day long and, ooh, that was a hard day. You want to have some fun. And that's why we do fun things like this.
That's a great answer. Any last question, comment, thought? Go ahead.
Don't throw something real technical at me. I heard your presentation.
No math.
Our managers.
I'll repeat that for the folks in the back. So the observation was, in Wegmans, instead of hearing, clean up to aisle 6 or, there's a sale on, checks or what have you, the announcements that come over the intercom are reminders to employees to take care of themselves, to take breaks, to care for themselves.
Care for themselves. And we are very much interested in the health of our people. 95% of our employees know their blood pressure, driven through us, through our pharmacies, so they trust us to have that information. We put about 21,000 of our 35 that are eligible through screenings where we do all of your blood work, all of that for you right at the store. And they trust that we're not going to use the information for something goofy. It's for their best health. And we are moving very fast towards becoming the healthiest place in America to work. So we're really excited about that. So our managers are really empowered to manage their people. That's their job. Our store managers, their top job is to live our values. That's all their job description goes right up to a very narrow thing that says live our values. That's what they're empowered to do. So we're very excited about that.
Thank you. Jack,
Nice clock.
this looks great.
I got one for your wife.
I feel like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and my mother always said, my wife said, wear something people remember you by. My mother always said, bring presents. This
look
is
at
all
this.
for Laszlo.
You are the best guest ever. Best speaker ever.
Nice shirt. I want him to look sharp when he's out there.
There's a lot in here.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
we took
we
care
come
of it.
away wiser and better dressed.
That's it.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.